I have a question.
Yep.
David, hit us up.
Wearables.
Okay.
Wearables?
Wearables. Of
Did you
any
not call
kind.
it that?
What do you want me to call them?
What do you mean wearables? Like clothes?
Homosexual identifiers.
It's gotten hostile quickly. David,
I don't know what you mean by this.
I mean wearable devices, I guess.
Oh.
But not just these like
Wearable
wearable
technology.
but still wearables, whatever. I'm not talking about diapers.
All my wearables are to the
I wish
to
you
the
were.
right of David.
Why do you have a box of diapers in your apartment?
I guess between me and God.
Anyways, he has many diapers.
They were-
Most of them
They were sized for
clean.
2-year-olds.
Most of them clean. Oh, that's
Anyways.
that's a deep hole.
Like no, but not just like the watches or like whatever. Like the shirts with the screens on them, the hats
Okay.
with the screens
The
on
glasses.
them, the glasses, like the
Yeah. Earpiece.
eventually earpieces, like things that are going to start coming, like the or augmented reality stuff where it will be better Google Glass.
Not possible.
Or like eventually the dream would be to have VR glasses that just look like Luke's, and then. But how are we all feeling about this?
I'm sorry. I missed.
cool.
I was. Wait. About VR glasses?
Well, about any
Like
wearable
Google Glass?
technology that is wearable, like from the watches to some things that make sense to things that don't, like having a cool screen playing an animated
stupid.
GIF on
May I remind
your
both the
T-shirt.
both the Talkspin boys and our very astute viewers when I remind us all of the Star Trek The Next Generation episode with the wearable video game. We know where this goes.
Yeah, it was great.
Don't we?
But what I mean,
Ball in the hole. Wasn't that the game?
Ball
in the hole.
That's from
Ball in the
Adventure
cup.
Time,
Ball in the cup.
and it's called Drop Ball.
Pee in the cup. That's my favorite
Anyways,
game. Play it all the time.
Well, I mean, like it can be even something as innocuous. I mean, the self-tightening shoes that Nike had that were in place of self-tying shoes from Back to the Future 2 are even an example of wearable technology. I'm asking how we all feel about this. Do we all feel comfortable wearing mini technologies on ourselves?
I
or
welcome
not?
it.
Aside from the fact that you're a really big douche, I think it's cool.
Here's
So,
where,
okay,
here's where
oh,
Eric,
wow,
here's
okay,
where Eric
so-
draws the line. If I have 3 wearable items that have their own separate lithium-ion batteries, and I have to keep track of charging all 3 of them, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I
Once
kind of
you get
already
too many-
didn't like to charge my watch when Jared gave me his old Apple Watch,
Dude, screw Apple
which
Watches.
I soundly gave to my old man because I got tired of it.
Well, like eventually, wouldn't it be better if they were just solar powered, or even better? Wouldn't it be better if we just went back to having people just shake their hand all the time to like wind their watch, but it was just a powering turbine in your watch, and you just did like this all the time?
You know what would be really cool? What if you had
I
some
kind of
sort
already
of
do that sometimes.
connectors over your body, so you just wore them at nighttime. You just plugged yourself in, and it charged everything all at the same time.
What you're talking about is the
body
Matrix,
has
and it's
nat-
not real.
That'd
Your
be cool.
body
Matrix
has
is real.
natural current.
No,
you
well,
can use that natural
that
current
Pepsi
to
to a
charge
pure
the
program.
device.
What you need to make the charging thing work is like
Goldfish.
an induction strip, a smart induction strip that you just like throw all your stuff on this strip at night, and then it
but
all will.
What Daniel
charge.
is talking about is having a smart induction strip that you just have on your body, and it just you just keep your watch on, and then you just
wrong with
have
these?
it, and it goes.
Yeah,
No, I'm good.
but I mean, like you don't want to wear it all the time. You could be in the shower or whatever. Be annoying.
Fair enough.
Daniel can't take the overwhelming amount of sodium.
But
in my
all right, and
Goldfish.
so what is
Flavor blasted.
what is
Wrong.
without being like the the dream here. The dream would be Spy Kids. The watch where he just opens it up and it's everything
Yeah.
all the time, and then the other kid's like, "Oh, you have that? Look at this! It's just a ring. Whoa!" And then he's like,
Are you referring to that classic scene from the hit film Island of Lost Dreams by
Yes.
Kids 2?
"Yes,
Oh, that's a good movie.
I am."
What an excellent
Hey,
movie.
okay, in Spy Kids 1, you know the thumb people?
Yeah,
The people, Thumple.
but what I wanted to know is
Scary.
what would be the one that you would use, like the one you would use the most.
From Spy Kids?
No, yeah, no.
I would
Obviously,
use the
that
little
would be
bug.
the tiny camera or the
Who's
tiny
your favorite
lightsaber.
Spy Kid?
VR.
Mine's the small
This is a
ginger
boring
man.
answer, but the VR glasses for show.
You
I
think
it'd
you just
be
have
really,
you
really
just
fun.
wear glasses that you could just turn on VR at any point?
Yeah, I'd exercise a lot more if I had something to do.
VR would be so cool if it were as good as it is in Spy Kids 3D.
Agreed.
How cool would that be? Like I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
VR is
I said
pretty
this
cool.
before.
It's not like obviously like Spy Kids level. But
VR's not good enough
It's kind
yet.
of cool right now.
You need Spy Kids 3D / Sword Art Online level.
You know what I would love?
It's good.
I would love if
We got Minecraft.
my punching bag over here was all censored up, and in my VR game,
It was a dude.
it was where it is
It was-
over
it
there
was
right
Jared.
now. It was no, actually, believe it or not, I was gonna make that joke. Let's
I
pretend that
can't believe that.
in the game, I'm in a gym, but it's still my room, and the punching bag is where it is now in the game as well. And I walk up, but the difference is
We have a coach's
to
zone
the
area.
left. To the left is like Rocky's coach. He's like, "You can do it, Rock. Hit that big," and he'd motivate me,
Or like a hot girl.
or like a hot babe. Hit that bag, Rock.
That's what she sounds like.
I think
me.
that's where. I mean, it's going that way, right? Though, I mean, eventually, it's not going to even just be only VR. It's going to be AR and VR in one glasses, and that'll be awesome because
It'll be
then
awesome.
that'll even. I think that's going to be when it like revolutionizes it beyond something. Because like right now, you remember, not that long ago, like within the last decade, like most things that your phone can do, you had to have like 5 different things to do.
No.
And so now you need just a phone. You have GPS, but think about having your glasses, and it's like, which way? Like I have directions to, my grandma's house, and it's 3 states away. But those directions are just showing you, are like navigating on your glasses, so that you know when to turn exactly, so that you know where to go.
It's like
and
when you're playing Need for Speed and it has the big yellow line that shows you.
Yeah,
But in real
or
life.
you could set it up in different ways too, because you could have that, or you could have just this massive like arrow pointing like that way whenever you get there, or just a waypoint, maybe for someone who's just adventuring, like, or like trying to get somewhere and they don't need like directions. It's over here.
Lest
This is where
we
you need to
forget
go.
the paperclip character in the
Clippy?
Clippy,
Yeah.
who helped you with things. Now, here's a question, briefly. What
Yes.
would you guys choose as your little helpful person who popped up in the corner?
Um,
I would personally choose the DNA from Jurassic Park.
I would probably choose Daniel's face rendered in 3D, but rendered in like PS1 3D.
But all he
graphic.
says is this is a waste of time.
No,
no matter where
Andros
you're going.
from this is Star Fox 64.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good one.
Well, no. What if you just what if you just did the portraits from Star Fox 64?
Yeah. It's like the 3 frames of opening my mouth. That would be cool.
All range mode. All right. Anyways, I was just wondering where you guys were sitting. On
Cool. Thumb up. Eric.
Once it gets good
Thumb up.
enough, I'm a thumb up on wearables. But like right now, none of them are good enough. I don't
That's
think.
what you give it.
Right now,
Side
I think
thumb.
we're at
Right
the
now, I'm
perfect
like a
point where
sideways.
our kids, 30 years from now, will be like, they were powered by batteries. Wah. And, we just don't know that yet.
How old will your kids be in 30 years? 29?
0.
None of your
They will
business.
not have been born.
I also
No,
have to
can
wonder.
I say something really quick? My uncle is in the electronics business. He owns a company called Rome Tech, and he makes amplifiers. And he's been talking to a company that makes batteries, and they're like, right now, we, of course, are trying to always perfect our batteries and make a better design. But, a couple years from now, we'd like to be operating off of ultracapacitors instead of batteries. Because the ultracapacitor makes a battery look like a joke. An ultracapacitor can be charged up borderline instantly. It can last for, weeks at a time.
How long can I run my Game Boy Color?
No, that's
like
not the.
probably a year.
That's not how you gauge that, because 2 AA batteries can run your Game Boy Color for like 20 hours or something like that. It would be, how long could it run the Sega Game Gear?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You're right.
13 minutes.
Yeah,
Tops.
probably 20 minutes.
It depends on the
Which would be
ultracapacitor, but I
so
mean,
much better
the
than the
ultra
batteries.
implies that it's very, very.
If I can
very
beat Sonic the
good.
Hedgehog all the way through without changing batteries, then I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
And
that's
Vector
what
Man
I
2.
think. I think it's just everything's a little obsolete right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting there, I think. I just wonder what kind of pants and like shirts and hats, like
What are the
like
pants
the
gonna
regular
do for you,
clothes.
though?
That's what I'm asking. What are they going to do for you?
Wouldn't it be cool if we
Window
had
knees. We've already established that.
window knees?
knees. We did establish-
knees.
So
That's
dumb.
really dumb.
Kill me.
That was a bad. That was.
What if it?
that was
What
a
if it?
dumb
What if it
question.
just? What if it sensed that you were going to sit down, and then it added a cushion to the butt?
Which is like an inflatable motor that.
So like
Yeah,
you're walking.
it just has like a one sensor strip basically built like right into the back of the knee, and whenever it did that, it just be like, and almost it was like filling in a whoopee cushion, man. You just fill in like the whoopee cushion thing with air, and it's just you sit down and
I feel
it's
like
like
I feel like
How
there's a
big of
strong
problem is
possibility
that where
that'll
seats
be a
aren't
real
comfortable
whoopee
enough?
cushion.
Does that happen often to you?
No more Apple Red's ale for Dave
Dude.
tonight.
That doesn't
I
happen.
can think of at least
Oh my gosh.
7 times a year that I would use that.
7 times.
7 times, huh?
Yeah.
Convention
Yeah.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, though. If it happens to me and I think about that, or I have to think about it, someone else is thinking about it, and it should be an invention.
It's very much an old person.
Can I tell you something? You guys ever heard of Idiot Abroad?
David's
At the
almost
very
done.
end of that episode, they give him like agency to make his own invention, and he does. It's called the Pickle Pump Pant. There are only 100 of them sold, and it's a super rare item that's like worth a bunch of money because there are only 100 made. But it's basically cargo pants, go all the way down to your shoes, and they got a big butt thing that's kind of in the shape of that neck pillow up there. And you have a little thing, and you go, and then you sit down.
But see, imagine if you didn't have to go through that embarrassment.
You're right.
And then you could just be like, it just your pants new, and it was like whatever. Like you just sit down and. But think about this: every chair is now the most comfortable chair ever. Think about sitting at your computer all day.
I understand the concept.
Yeah.
The only problem is, first of all, I will say that I feel like maybe this is just a weird idea I have. I feel like always sitting in the most comfortable chair is somehow going to mess up yourself. Like you're going to be messed up somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're not going to appreciate chairs anymore.
David, you give him money and buy his product.
Yeah.
I would invest $100,000 in that product.
And see, then
For 10% of the company.
Well, what about shirts? Shirts, I'll tell you, and this is genius. Nobody steal this. This is my idea. No one
Nobody
steal this
steal.
ever.
No
it's on
stealing.
YouTube. At this
Copyright,
point,
TM.
by the time, well, by the time everyone hears this,
Patent
it is.
pending.
It's on YouTube, so it's copyrighted.
No.
Lay it on us.
So, Luke, I'm interested to see what's going
Shirts?
on with you over there.
Shirts
We'll get there. Listen
where
to
the
David
fabric
right now.
Uh-huh.
is it's very thin fabric, but you just do like this, and then it's a long sleeve shirt. It's just the fabric goes comfortably into the back of the shirt, right? And then
All right,
all you
hold
have to
on.
do-
Make that motion again so our viewers can really get a good look.
So yeah, all the way. So the fabric just kind of goes towards the middle of your back on both sides, and even can crisscross on the back or like cross over each other. But then all you have to do is pull the sleeves down, and then you have a long sleeve shirt.
So, like, what if you just took a normal long sleeve shirt and folded the sleeves up?
You could do that, but then you look like a chode.
Yeah, come on, Luke.
Yeah. Can't be running around looking like chodes over here. It's not cool.
Like, think about that though. Like, think about if you wore just like the shirt you have on now, and we were outside for some reason right now. When
it's
it's actually
like,
it is actually like
it's a
probably
little-
what like
Oh,
50
so
degrees.
it's the equivalent of the
Yeah,
cut
I
off
was gonna say, the
shorts that
zippers,
have the zippers on
yeah,
the knees.
and you know what? Those were awesome. I had
Those
like
were
5
not
pairs.
awesome.
I
They
had
were.
a couple pairs.
Those were not awesome.
They
They're-
were.
I felt awesome wearing them.
Yeah, they were. You know why? Because there's always like, okay, you have the 2 pockets
Hate
on either
everyone
side of the
right now.
shorts.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you also had the 2 pockets on the side of the very bottom.
No
of the
one
pants.
ever said, "Wow, what a cool
Please
guy."
call them Tupacs.
You can't.
Is that what they
Tupac,
were
he's
called?
dead.
Those pants are also
You
kinda
actually
dead.
said 2 pockets, didn't you?
I said
2
2 pockets. Yeah.
Tupac. Dead.
Two-
Actually,
two
I
pockets.
said 2 pockets. Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
I got a new pair of Tupacs. That sounds real cool, David.
That is really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who thought that. I thought that
David.
whenever I saw someone
Yep.
wearing them.
David, what's the date today?
We're talking to you, Justin
September
Spencer.
3rd,
David thought
2017.
it.
September 4th,
4th.
1:18 a.m. Eastern
Okay.
Standard Time.
Yeah.
Now
We
knows
was
what
here
we're doing.
first.
Yep.
All other claim to this are imposters.
Yep.
Please ignore them.
Man, I'm just saying. Okay, well, what do you?
It really helps
how
the
do you?
legitimacy
How
when
do
you
you make
shake
it
out these
make a shirt
goldfish.
into
How
some
do
sort
you-
of technology?
The question is, how do you improve clothing as it is? Because
Actually, I
clothing's
guess
kind of worthless.
you could put some sort of heart rate sensor
Yeah, I
into a
hate
shirt, but
clothing.
then it'd have to be skin tight.
See, this is my idea too. Wouldn't it be cool if you had like
No, just everyone has an
like
implanted
in
one
like you
just
know
in their skin, and then
Well, then you
it
have to wear a
connects-
short shirt. Yeah.
you know like
it
a
connects.
side,
Like there's a wireless receiver that automatically will connect to the one that's in your heart.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Sure.
Daniel's?
But wouldn't it be cool if you had something, you know, how like in, you know,
Blade Runner.
Metal Gear or whatever, it's like it has like a whole graph of your body and all of your
Yeah.
health. Like, what if you just had a thing that told you like your total percentage of your bladder and how full it was, and you could,
Dude,
you
if I
know.
could have a
Percentage of body
Sims,
fat.
if I could have a Sims style heads-up display of my
Yeah.
life at all points of time,
You're
I
like,
would
wow,
be
I need a lot
even
more
more depressed than I
comfort.
already am about myself. Because it'd show like it'd be like bathroom, food, happiness, fun, work, and like 2 of those bars would be perpetually empty.
sleep and fun would always be 0.
But I want the cheapest version
no,
of the
it'd be
shirt to be an
happiness.
HD sentence
Oh.
description of your ethnicity.
What?
I want the cheapest version of this shirt to be a HD sentence description of your ethnicity, and that's it.
Okay.
Hold on.
It just scrolls what your ethnicity is.
I know
Like
there used to be.
That's it.
Oh,
I read in some book one time that it was like, by 2020 that everyone was basically going to have a thing that they either wore or, I know some people think it's, much worse than it is, but having like a chip that had your vitals in it, and that as you walked around people, it almost would be unnecessary to go through the lesser pleasantries like, "Hi, I am David. What is your name?" That you'd be like, "Hey, Daniel, I'm David, obviously," and you'd be like, "Oh yes, hello, David," and I'd be like, "Yeah, how's it going? I was going to do this, and I thought maybe that you like it." Like, it'd have all your interests and crap on it. And I read that in a book, and I was like, that'd be kind of weird, just walking around, like, looking at people and being like...
Doesn't that destroy what it means to be, like, human at that point?
No. Because you could still avoid people if you wanted
At that
to, and
point,
that's the essence of being a human being.
Well, at that point,
it's
then...
avoiding the people that you
the whole
don't like.
world is just social media, basically.
And it's not now?
I mean, it is almost, but it would literally be, because you couldn't go out and meet people in the wild anymore.
I find it fun to watch guys try to talk to girls in this new generation because they don't really ever get to.
So you think it gives those losers a chance?
No, like take a certain young boy we know who will remain nameless. And I'm actually not speaking of Zach. Zach, I love you. Who
Edit that out.
almost exclusively meets girls, gets their Instagram account, and then just DMs them the whole time.
Oh no.
As opposed to like speaking to them, because when he speaks to them, it often goes off the rails, or he comes off a little strange. And it's not because he's awkward or strange, because that can be a problem too. He can be just kind of awkward and strange.
Yeah.
But I don't think it helps when you have an easy out with texting and DMing people.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I really don't.
Texting gives you too much time to think.
It does.
Well, I mean...
You can craft the perfect response.
It also
you know.
is far easier to be, one, creepy, and two, just get... You would never say certain things that you would text.
It's awkward though when you do. The first girl I ever...
If you say it to them, yeah. If you
First
if you
girl I
text it
ever
to
had
them,
a crush on, we would text endlessly into the late hours of the night. And then I saw her, and I was like, it's going to be great. And I was foolish, because texting was relatively new to me at that point. And I met her, and it was the whole group, but she saw me, and we both lit up, because we were crushing on each other. And I walked up, and she often referred to me as sunshine in her texts. It made me feel all special and giddy inside.
and then she was like, "Hi
What
there,
an
garbage
idiot.
bag." And
No,
you were
I
like,
know.
No.
That's the thing. I approached her, and she looks at me and she says, "Hey, sunshine," and I was like, "Hey."
Was she from Texas?
And then we talked to each other as though we were texting, which is to say, staring longingly while thinking about what to say. It was an awkward and a nightmarish experience, and I realized then, texting is not my medium.
Social media, I have been increasingly figuring out, it's the worst thing.
It is
Probably.
absolutely
It is
the worst
Possibly the worst thing ever invented.
That's why I'm at 0. Aside from iMessage.
thing. Okay, I was out to eat with I was out to eat with and he said, "So Eric, what happened to your Instagram?" And I was like, well, I'm thinking too much during the day about what I want to post. Then he follows up with no questions. He just follows up with, "Well, we'd like to." First of all, he said "we." I don't know what that means. I didn't inquire, but he said, "Well, we'd like to see you start posting things again because we'd like to know what's going on in your life."
Your car of the day and your animal of the day were always nice.
Yeah, but
I like
it was
those.
the innocence with which he said, "We'd like to see what's going on in your life." That made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, do you know why it's so much easier to do that? Because people, it's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you're thinking like, oh no, it's not going to lose what makes you human. No, because that is what makes nowadays everyone human, is that you can choose to ignore whoever you want. And you don't have to feel bad about it. Ever. Like, before, you could feel bad because, like, before you would feel bad because it'd be like, oh, no one knew that Hannah was pregnant. and if you had not called or they had not called you, there's two options for you to feel bad. Either you feel bad because you didn't care enough to call to see how they were doing, or they didn't care enough to call you, and then you had to feel bad because then it was like, oh, dude, Danny, they didn't call me about this because you found out from a third party. And you wouldn't have been mad if you found out from a third party. You could just call them and be like, hey, I heard you were pregnant or whatever. Oh, that's great. It's great. Nowadays, it's like, why didn't you post on Facebook?
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
and then it's like, because what would you have done? Probably pushed that like button and then moved on.
Probably push the like button, bro.
Like, that's all it is for. It's just like,
Smash that
cool.
like
Wow, I saw that thing that happened. That's nice. Anyways, let's scroll till I see something else. Oh, that's pretty funny.
It's so bizarre to base your self-worth on that. Because let's say I print out a photo of a lizard that I found, and then I send that same photo to David. Let's say there's 2 universes, and in one universe I send, hey David, post picture on Instagram. David's the first one to like. He smashes that like button all over my lizard. And then in the other universe, I'm like, hey David, look at this neat lizard I found. He's not going to look at that photo and go, I dislike this lizard picture you've shown me. Probably not, because he's a kind friend.
and he loves lizards.
Either way, it's weird that I desire his like so much, because if we were in person, I know he likes the photo. He doesn't have to press the like button. If he just scrolls over it and likes my next picture, I'm not thinking, what was wrong with my lizard picture?
I'll tell you this.
What's wrong with my list?
I've been thinking about this actually quite a bit, because someone in the past 2 weeks actually uttered the words to me. I've noticed you haven't been liking any of my Instagram pictures.
It was me.
And I was
It
like,
was Daniel, deeply
what?
hurt.
And they were like, yeah, you just don't. And I was like, I am very picky with my likes, which is why I also...
Whoa! You said that?
Yeah. I was like, I don't like much.
You should have played
actually.
ignorance with it. You can like things? What's that mean?
And then also, I mean, I use social media way differently than everyone else, because I look at people and they're like, I'm like 500 followers and I follow about 1,000 people or whatever. I'm like, that's nuts. I think I might follow 50 people, and all of those people I know personally on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, I'll take that back. I have two people that I follow on Instagram that are not like people that I know in real life, and all of the rest of the people that follow me, I think I have way more followers than that, but I don't really care enough to follow all of them, so I just don't.
You follow the Shrek Instagram account, don't you?
Obviously, that's the one I know on a first name basis.
Yeah. Can we all agree though that social media, obviously, or you can criticize or whatever. Clearly, it's social interaction for busy people. It's basically what social media is.
It started that way.
But I am a firm believer that children, as in premature children, it is very unhealthy for them to use social media. Can we all agree with that? I'm talking like not talking like I'm talking like kids younger than 14.
Okay,
right?
Okay, but which ones specifically?
What do you mean? Which social medias?
Yeah.
I think
all of them.
anyone under 14.
Anyone under 14 like should not because I'm like gonna cringe at what they're putting on there. I love it.
I'd like to
Before
see.
you go, David, I want to extrapolate very briefly on what he's saying. I think I agree, and he might agree with me too. You might be going down the road he's going. When you're younger than 14, you tend to view social media as a place on which to base your self-worth, and it can crush you. And it can crush you so quickly.
I think it's gonna be fine.
I feel like there's people who committed suicide. They're usually younger people over social media because whatever.
See, and that's what I'm saying is that at the point that you are, even a kid who's like 15, 16, most 15, 16-year-olds are not completely socially adjusted. So if you use social media, it warps their idea of what social interaction is. So we're fortunate enough, all of us, to have grown up in a world without it, and got access to it as adults, and we know how to handle that. We know what it's like to interact with real people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna start printing out all anything I would post on Instagram. I'm gonna print out in a little square. I'm gonna take it to the meeting and just show people.
It'd be like, hey, could you press the like button on the bottom of it?
Just write like.
Do you
plus
like,
one.
Do you like
in your name?
Do you like this?
I just have like extra cards.
I would
people can
agree
write
with
their
you on
comments
that, except for the fact,
Yeah,
I think that children, from the time they can write and are able to use some sort of like keyboard, they should have access to a Twitter.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it'd be funny.
You're an evil man.
No, Twitter isn't. Twitter is not about social interaction. Twitter is about breaking down all forms of communication to destroy everyone.
No, Twitter is a toxic place.
Which is why having children there would make everything better, because children would be like, "This sucks," and everyone would be like, "Go back to bed, kid," and they'd be like, "You're a duty head," and it would be the best because it's already devolves into those stupid things, huh?
That would hurt my feelings.
See, and this is the thing.
Call the duty head.
I'm not saying that all children are like this necessarily, but most certainly, I would say the majority of children, by the time they're age 11, 12, 13, if they have been using social media all up to that point, like they're not going to understand how you are supposed to interact with people, real world people. Or not, they may not know how, but that it will
LOL,
wildly change
WYM, man.
I mean, well, that's okay. So I'm not going to say that we didn't grow up. Like, I grew up in the internet age. I was a young kid when I first got the internet. But social media didn't exist. The first social media that existed was, like, MySpace. And that's, like, I didn't use it, clearly. But the extent of my social interaction online with strangers I didn't know was playing StarCraft and somebody calling me a faggot because I didn't know how to play the game.
I mean, message boards were a form of social media that was just a little bit more exclusive and niche.
It's true.
Before MySpace. I mean, that was where kind of MySpace and Facebook kind of got the ideas from. It was like, what if this was a message board for everyone instead of just for this community?
Actually, to be honest, I think the first real social media or at least the first complete in the sense that you could be involved in it deeply is something like an MMO, like World of Warcraft, or like a game like that. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that children, I don't think, should use it because I think it's damaging to these people.
Let me sidebar for a second. I'll make a confession. I thought it was Run Escape.
Run Escape?
For a very long time.
Escape!
How long did you, last year? Or
No.
That's amazing.
No. Because, I mean, when did RuneScape come out?
Like 1999, like 2001. It's old.
2001.
That game.
Okay. Because I was in high school whenever I found out that it was not Run Escape.
Okay.
Because I was still on dial-up.
It's pretty late on
the
game.
Were you bullied mercilessly?
High school is 2005 for me, so.
Still though.
Well, guess what? Guess what, Walkstead? Now you're gonna call it a swirly from now on.
Also, from before that, I was just playing Neopets, man.
Neopets didn't have any social or much social at all. It didn't.
It did.
No, I know it did, but it
sucked.
Let's be honest, it was very limited.
Wasn't anything good.
I played Neopets too, I'll admit.
Which one, though?
Which Neopets?
Like, where in the timeline? Because I was, like, were you there whenever all it had basically was a message board?
I'm probably second wave.
Dave was there on the ground floor.
I wasn't there day one. Yeah. I was there probably
I was there when
Neopets.
everything was just like a GIF with a button on it, and you push the button and it changed the GIF into something
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I pretty much just popped in Crunchling Adventure and just played that endlessly.
You remember Crunchling Adventure?
Make sure you feed him lots of Captain Crunch cereal.
Anyways, I do agree that I think that social media is
Side note, now that we live in an age of social media, clearly parents who are bad parents are not going to pay attention to their kids and use social media. It's going to happen, of course. If you're a good parent, you'll take a little more hands-on approach. Anyway, what we should be doing to take advantage of it is archiving these kids' social media accounts. Archiving everything. And then in the moment when they're adults and they're trying to apply for jobs, we blackmail them.
That's happening already.
That
is happening already.
You know how easy that is?
Yeah, that's why it's happening already. Because people are like, so why whenever you're 14 would you have said this about black people? And they'd be like,
yeah, that's really interesting.
And they were like, it's a kind of messed up thing you're saying. They'd be like, and you know what the defense they would give for that is, I was 14, and they were like,
14?
Yeah. But you still said it. And people
I
will
can
now say that you said it.
I can confirm that two different jobs, the higher end jobs that I've had, once I finally worked there, and I kind of got more of a close relationship with my manager, so to speak, I would then find out that almost everyone that they interview, they check out the Facebook and Instagrams of.
Honestly, it's a smart move by companies. I mean, whether
it is, but it's so easy.
Whether it's an invasion of privacy or not, which I don't think it is, because it's a public thing.
Well,
right? They put it up there knowing that people can see this freely.
But I think that's where, I mean, the two ends of the spectrum, kind of like older people, like elderly people, tend to post whatever they want to on Facebook.
Yeah.
Younger people tend to post whatever they want to on Facebook. There are people in between. But smart people on social media do exist And I mean, I think I am at least moderately smart about what I post and what I don't, because I understand that people can look through and see what I post and see what I don't.
Yeah.
Or not see what I don't, but see what I post. And then it's like, why would you have posted it? And it's like, oh, I don't know. I thought it was funny at the time. And it's like, yeah, well, now you just lost a job for that. I mean, there are things where it's like, I could goof, but if someone saw this goof, what would it cost me later on?
Would it make trouble?
Yeah.
Very possibly. It happens a lot.
Every workplace is very, very diligent about telling you that work and your own life should stay separate. And yet, they have an intimate look into your personal life.
That's good. And then they'll be like, man, this kid's sad.
Well, I mean, think about it. Okay, realistically, let's do a little bit of a role play.
My favorite.
Okay.
Well, okay, let me try to think of the scenario. This is a scenario, okay? I'll be the employer, all right? And you'll be the...
Chris Hansen.
You'll be the Chris Hansen. I'll be the employer.
I'm kidding.
Then you'll be the prospective potential employee that I'm going to hire in for an interview, okay? David will be the secretary.
I'm a PR person, obviously. Or the HR. I'm HR.
Are you guys both grilling me?
I'm HR. I'm sitting here writing stuff down.
Yeah,
and
he's the
he
HR
already
guy
has all my file.
With
Yeah.
and I'll it's across the desk. Wait, can we...
We're not going to make a big
Yeah.
loud thing, but we are going to add some veto sound effects. So just say, boy, come in, Mr. Anderson.
Come on in, Mr. Emlinger.
Oh,
Mr. Emling, we've been expecting you.
yeah, hi.
Please have a seat.
Nice in here, isn't it? So, comfy chair.
It's good to meet you for the first time.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mr.
Dark Hole.
Dark Hole.
First name's Dark, last name Hole. Mr.
Dark-
Hole.
Dark-
You can call me Mr. Hole.
Dark Hole, and this is...
This is Keith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Keith.
Keith C, as we call him.
It's,
Thanks for
K.
thanks for having me in here, fellas.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. I know it's in the middle of the lunch hour, so we'll try to get this done as quickly as possible. We've been looking over your resume. It looks great. You have a lot of experience in the field for testing,
We're getting that out.
light bulb testing. You got a lot of good work history. Your education is good. You graduated from the University of
Utah.
Kurdistan. Turds.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything's looking great. Really.
Thank you, sir. It means a lot.
I'll ask a few questions just to kind of get things figured out here. So, number one,
Absolutely.
these are just hypothetical ones. And you think of some. Okay, think of your best friend. You don't say his name.
I won't say his name.
Say his your best friend in the whole world.
I won't
You
say
can do
his name.
anything for this guy
right,
or
right.
gal, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
He's working with you, and you see him steal something. He says, "Eric, I'm going to steal this. Don't tell anyone." What should you do?
Well, obviously, I'd want to keep my integrity as a loyal employee, so I would have to report him immediately to the management.
Okay. Good.
Well,
I feel about
unfortunately, here we do have a record of you on Facebook saying that you
Oh.
saw one of your
no.
coworkers at your last job taking a Coke, and you took one along with him. This as you know, this obviously this is a different situation entirely, but we here at the light bulb company, we take this type of thing very seriously, and we can't have you taking light bulbs. A Coke is one thing; that's only 50 cents. These light bulbs that we're selling are industrial grade; they might be $50. This is different, so we really need to know.
Right.
where
I admit
your
I
heart lies in this.
forgot about that. When was that? 2003.
Listen, doesn't matter. I'll put that aside.
Okay, no, wait.
Second-
Let me say that
Okay.
was that was right after my divorce. I'm working at O'Reilly Auto Parts part time.
God bless you.
Your poor soul.
And I was in a really bad place. We had a really rotten manager.
You kept taking all the lube.
Kept taking all the lube, and there was a Coke machine. We took advantage of a low place in my life. I'll admit to that. I know honesty is important in a place like this, such as Office Depot. I want to be upfront with you.
Also, sir, you
guys.
should probably learn this is light bulbs, etc.
This is
light bulbs.
Light bulbs, etc.
I put in a lot of applications. I'll remember that.
It's a child company of Staples.
Light bulbs.
Okay. Second hypothetical question. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's say you see your boss stealing something. He says, "Eric, I'm going to steal this light bulb and put it in my house. Light my house for my children. My children, they need light. I can't afford it. They gotta have light." And then he takes the. What do you do now? It's your boss.
Wow, man.
And he said, "Don't tell anyone, or you're fired."
Tell anyone I'm fired. I would call the police.
The phone lines are cut.
Phone lines are cut.
They're cut.
They're cut.
They don't work.
They're cut. Oh. You
Dial my one on nothing.
And you guys in human resources really come up with some humdingers, I tell you.
Well,
What do you? What,
This is me. Mr. Cutlass actually thought of all these himself.
Mr. Cutlass, what you look like you want to say something. Please rescue me.
You'd be coming to me if your manager was to steal something. You'd be coming to HR.
What is your title here?
Human resources relations?
You're both human, right?
No. He's the manager.
I'm the manager.
You're the manager.
I'm human resources.
He's HR supervisor.
Yeah. So, what you would do, since obviously you couldn't report to your manager that he was stealing because he told you not to, you would come to me because I am part of corporate, upper management, not middle management, like this failure at life.
Right.
So what you would do is you would come to me and you would say, I have some concerns about my middle manager.
If you don't mind, I'd like to practice. Mr. Cutlass, I got something real heavy on my heart and my mind today.
All right.
Let it all out.
Listen, Mr. Beauregard, over here, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I'm going to steal a light bulb. I got to tell somebody, but if you tell anybody else, and I'll have you fired. Now take off your pants. I'm going to show you a good time." And of course, I said, "No way, Jose," and I took off out of there, and I came immediately to you. I thought you might like that.
Right,
Anyway,
so what we do then is we'd give you this form to fill out,
right?
And we take care of it.
Thank you, Mr. Cutlass.
Thank you for answering the question so candidly.
Yes.
One last few concerns we had when looking through some different sources. We saw that you liked the Sonner Chew and Rosa Chew fan page on Facebook. You want to explain that? You liked it and you retweeted it to all your family.
I found the fiction recently, the stories recently, very, very compelling. They didn't used to be. I have a young son, and he said, "Dad, you should check it out. The story's kind of dark." I'm an adult. I like darker stories.
You would let your son take it. Have you seen the content of these, Mr. Emily?
I have not.
They contain some very, very adult themes.
Well, I'm going to have a talk with my son.
While we don't necessarily have a problem with what you do in your personal time, now that you will be a middle-level manager, such as this failure at life that you're talking to here.
I put food on my table. I feed my family.
Obviously,
what do you do? Get drunk every night.
Which is why we're interviewing him for your job.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot. Obviously, since you will be a face of this company, how you are portrayed to the public is very important to upper management, to corporate, if you will.
If this, at the end of the day, if this is about my pornographic Pokemon tattoos on my lower back, then it's not going to be a problem. It's covered by my shirt,
just as long as you take them off of the internet, then yes.
All right.
Who sees that and who doesn't is what's important to us, not that you had it done.
Okay. Glad to get that off my chest.
All right.
Well, that's it on your back.
Thank you. We'll be contacting you in the next 3 to 4 days.
Oh, well, thanks, guys. Gee, I hope I get the job.
You wouldn't have got the job because he's a tool.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Listen, there's one thing you can't do to an Asian. It's impossible. That's steal his job.
Asian privilege.
Asian privilege. He's too much of a hard worker.
I make too much money for this company to go away.
Were we all doing weird, vague Jimmy Stewart impressions?
I wasn't trying
I feel like
to.
we were all...
You were influencing me.
Luke, have you got something or not?
Well, I'll just go ahead and get into it. The title of this piece is called
Wait.
Murder on a Submarine.
Try that. Wait, I messed that up.
What?
You should put like rainy music or something.
Okay.
In post.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, read it again.
Actually,
Wait, why would you hear
I
rain
have
underwater, you idiot?
Wait, no, they'll make like dingy, like ting.
Yeah, like drips and stuff? Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Usually,
I was gonna say I have a rainstorm I can play, but that's not gonna.
use
go
it's
the,
not a rainstorm.
All right,
It's
we're
use the
submarine
soundtrack
noises.
from There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. It'll be perfect. Alright,
All right.
ready? I'm starting out, I'm the narrator. So whenever it's your turn to read, just read it the best you can.
Okay.
Alright. It was late into the night, close to 4 a.m. The crew was deep into enemy waters, almost 2,000 feet under the surface. While everyone else slept, Eric was acting as watchout, keeping a close eye on the sonar.
Golly, my inner thighs are starting to cramp up. Guess I'll have to get another snack.
Eric gets up to search for his 4th family-sized pizza. When he gets to the break room, he notices the fridge door is ajar.
What?
He pays it no mind and goes ahead and opens it up to grab his well-deserved snack. As he tries to shut the door, he feels some resistance and isn't able to get it shut. He looks down and sees it.
Oh, mein Führer.
Eric lumbers over to the single-bed bedroom to wake up Daniel and David.
Guys, wake up. We have a huge problem.
Daniel rubs the sleep out of his eyes.
You saw your britches again? David, get the rain boots and shovels. Don't worry, Eric. We can take care of this.
No, it's much worse.
Dear God, Eric, don't tell me it's prolapsed again.
Just listen to me, you blubberous clown. Jared is dead. He's dead.
Daniel and David look at each other with the glazed looks in their eyes.
Wait, you should read in unison.
sorry.
They said.
Okay, in unison they said,
I'm going back to sleep.
"Not you,
Not
Eric.
you. It's-
You're not going back to sleep, you dummy."
Want to?
Anyways,
Alright, try again.
All right.
New cut.
Daniel and David look at each other with glazed looks in their eyes. In unison they said,
I'm going back to sleep.
How can you guys be so disinterested when a life has been lost?
I mean, it was only Jared, right?
Yeah. What do you even do here? I only ever saw him whenever he was crying in the bathroom like a baby.
Guys, he was our towel boy or something. And sometimes he would bring me drinks if I yelled at him enough. Who am I gonna berate into submission now?
I don't really see why this means I should care.
Well, at the very least, help me move his body so we can close the fridge. Otherwise, all of our grape jelly will go bad.
Daniel and David consider it for a moment. Daniel, it's you.
I'm only hoping for the sake of the jelly.
Me too.
The three of them make their way to the body. As they pull Jared's corpse away, David notices something strange.
Dear God, this isn't a simple death. Jared's been murdered!
Oh, yeah? What the heck do you say for that? Oh, shoot. What the heck do you say for that, you...
That for?
that for? You lecherous ooze? Lecherous ooze?
Lecherous.
What? Lecherous?
Lecherous.
Oh, okay.
Accurate.
Alright, try again. Oh, yeah? What the heck do you say for that, you lecherous ooze?
What do you say that for?
What
do you
the
say
heck
that
do you
for?
say that for, you lecherous ooze?
You idiot.
Alright, we try again.
Can't read.
Oh, yeah? Well, I can't stand Luke and I hate him.
You're talking to David, by the way.
Oh, yeah? I can't stand Luke and I hate him.
Okay.
Alright. Are we just gonna go with my line? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see signs of struggle. Look at the blood under his fingernails and the bruises on his arms. He must have fought back, and there's a harpoon in his back.
No, I'm not convinced. Could have just tripped.
No, Eric, he's right. Look at the blood underneath his fingernails. It's clear proof.
Alright, you got me there. But just because he was murdered doesn't change anything, does it?
Of course it does. If someone was murdered, there has to be a murderer.
And
And we're on a submarine. And we're the only ones here.
so that means...
That means one of us is the murderer. And that person could murder more of us.
Sweet mother of Mary Louise Parker.
It's a good line.
Thank you.
So what are we gonna do? Should I get the interrogation kit?
Oh.
We'll come back to that if we need to, but for now we should strip search all of us so we can make sure none of us has any weapons, so no one can sneak attack us.
That's a good idea.
You, get
You have to read that. You should read it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That
alright,
part, you
alright.
idiot.
Daniel and Eric in unison
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Get naked.
They all strip down to their skivvies and perform a thorough cavity search on each other for the next 40 minutes. No weapons were found.
Well, it didn't help us at all.
My wiener's huge. Speak for yourself.
I've never said this before, but I think Eric's right. Let's go to the sitting rooms upstairs. We can talk there and figure out who the killer is.
Oh, we can't.
Why not?
We're in a submarine, so upstairs is underwater right now.
Good point. Let's go to the lounge instead, I guess.
Daniel and David head to the lounge. Eric reaches for his pizza before following.
So how are we gonna determine the killer?
It's simple, really. We will just each...
Sorry.
We will just each other...
Ask each other. I'm sorry, that was supposed to be an ask of that.
We will just eat
We'll
each
just
other.
ask a question so someone's story don't make no sense, obviously.
Yeah, duh, Eric. Duh.
We'll each take turns asking the other two people one question each. I can start. First, David. When did you last see Jared alive?
It was, earlier in the night. Right before I went to bed, I saw him practicing natural smiles in the bathroom mirror.
He always does that natural smile.
Well, that does make sense. Now, Eric, when did you last see Jared alive?
I don't remember exactly since it's been a few days. I try not to look at him, so he knows that I think he's below me.
Alright, it's my turn now. Daniel, when was the last time you saw Jared alive?
Now it was this morning. He was rubbing ointment on his inner thighs.
Alright. Now, Eric, how many people have you stabbed since we left?
Just the one, David, just one.
Daniel and David simultaneously gasp. Eric gasps and says,
You slimy yellow-bellied tricksy sleazebag, you fooled me.
Daniel and David pull out their concealed weapons and aim at Eric.
Come on.
I knew it was you since the moment I laid eyes on you, you indomitable nut brain.
Yeah, I knew it was you too as soon as I saw the blood smeared all over your shirt, idiot!
I knew I should have worn red today.
Eric deftly and elegantly moves his plus-sized body through the room and smacks the weapon out of the other two's hands. I'm sorry. He takes his own harpoon gun from inside and aims toward Daniel and David, smugly exclaiming,
Ha! Now I have the upper hand. Should I kill you two as well? Guess I'll take a stab at it.
Eric begins to squeeze the trigger while Daniel and David cower in the corner. Suddenly, the door opens, hitting Eric and knocking him to the floor. David and Daniel simultaneously say,
Captain Zack!
What in the Diablo is going on here? Wait, hold on.
What in Diablo? Wait, no. That's not Indian.
Hold on.
It's the same.
Mi amigos,
Mi
what
amigo-
in Diablo?
What in the Diablo is going on here? What in Diablo is going on here?
David, you're lying.
What's going on here? Eric killed Jared and just tried to kill us.
Ay, Dios míos, take him to the airlock.
Ugh.
David and Daniel grab Eric, drag him through the submarine hallways,
Come
and
on.
force him into the airlock chamber.
Please.
After a lot of stuffing and pushing, they were finally able to close the door.
Hurting me.
They could hear Eric screaming from the other side, but they paid no heed. David puts his finger on the eject button and presses it while saying,
Looks like this one sunk.
Oh, you should monitor.
Monitor. Alright, that was fun. I'm sorry. There was supposed to be a joke in there about how Zach is like, why aren't any of you wearing clothes? Because you never put your clothes back on. But I didn't fit that in.
He's got to sound like one of the stereotypical like Ay, Dios mío, take him to the airlock. Oh.
That's pretty good, Luke.
Thank you. It's at least kind of funny.
I hate you said Eric was his plus size body. So mean.
It's so
mean.
specific. It's such a
Awful.
specific way to describe my body. Plus size
I
body.
was wondering, Eric is not plus sized. He's fun
He's
sized.
curvy.
I'm just mean.
He's thick AF.
Yeah, dude. I'm thick with two C's.